Hey guys, I'm here. All right, I'm a few minutes late, but let me move this over. This light's bad. Okay, cool. So, I finally got here. I'm going to give a few minutes to see if anybody jumps in before I get started. I'm going to get started. Okay. Hi. Anybody here? Let's see. I'm going to say, okay. Hey, Augusta, Georgia in the house. Tremaine, what's going on? Hey, Cruz Boston, good to see you. Just saying hello to some folks. Okay. Yeah, no, Tremaine's here. We're like, the party's on. So I got my new Gavin mug. You saw me and Gavin. And I had an artist draw a picture of him. So I did a Gavin mug. Okay. I'm going to just put these on for a second. Brittany, hey, girl. All right. So I actually made some notes on what I'm going to talk about today, because it's been a really interesting couple weeks, hasn't it? I think for all of us. And I'm going to, Joanne, did you get that? Did you get the stuff I sent you? I want to make sure you got it. Let me know. Yeah, I sent Joanne some stuff. Okay. Oh, Ellie, good to see you. Yeah, welcome. Anybody new jumping in? I just want to say hi to you all. So what I was going to talk about, I'll let you know what the topic is, what I'm going to talk about, and then I'll just go say hi to folks. Chronically Ronnie, good to see you. All right. So today I am going to talk about how the ADHD diagnosis a month ago now has impacted my life, what has changed for me, and what has, this is like really bright over here. Hold on. Okay, much better. Maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I look better. So I want to talk about that because I want to talk about some of the things, and I'm looking at my notes here. I've been really studying a lot on ADHD, and I'm one of those people that when I see that there's something wrong, so to speak, I know. Yeah, okay, good, Joanne. I didn't know if you got them. But I'm one of those people that when I see that there's something going on, I like to know everything about it, because, and I see this too often. I don't know if you all relate, but you know, how often are people they get a diagnosis and they just go off and they go, well, I got this diagnosis. And there's a great book from the 80s, guys, called, I don't know if you've heard of it, let me know, Love, Medicine, and Miracles. A surgeon named Bernie Siegel wrote it. Absolutely, Cruz Boston, knowledge is power. Bernie Siegel wrote Love, Medicine, and Miracles. And the biggest takeaway from that is he had, his idea was, we're doing medicine all wrong. We're doing this all wrong. We should be looking at the people who we diagnose as terminal. They basically give us the middle finger and they walk out and they say, forget it, and they go heal themselves. And he said, instead, we're studying the people who are dying in the beds. And not that there's any, listen, I'm not trying to put anybody down. And you see, it's funny. It's like in those days, you could just say it and people would, oh yeah. But now somebody will get offended. You know, there's somebody who'll go, well, I can't believe you'd say that about people. You know, and it's like, you know what? There is a certain point, and this is why I've kind of like not been able to do as many broadcasts, because I had to really reframe some of my thinking, especially with this new diagnosis. And I agree, Humanimal, we do have to fight for ourselves. I think that, yeah, the only thing I needed to do, and the reason I wanted to, and chronically Ronnie said, you know, she'd be off in a la-la land if she had to look at her own diagnosis. You can go down a rabbit hole, you definitely can. But one of the things that I decided to do was I really wanted to understand what this condition was. I wanted to understand what is happening with it and why it's affecting me and how it's affecting me. Well, I don't know if y'all know this, but I wrote down some notes because I was watching a professor. This guy is like one of the top diggity dog, Bobby Booby guys, right? He's like the top honcho boncho guy. Anyway, he was talking about, and I thought this was amazing. He's one of the top psychiatrists and he teaches other psychiatrists. And he said 90% of ADHDs never get the right diagnosis. Why don't you just get that? Like, he said most of the time we are so afraid of that diagnosis. We're giving out, what we're doing is we're giving people antidepressants, which is a part of it, right? So, and it may be that's part of it. I don't mean to minimize that. But he's saying we're giving them antidepressants, which work for a time, and then suddenly things stop working. And basically what he said, which I found fascinating, was that he said that ADHD is the most curable, controllable brain cognitive, disorder, so to speak, of all of the disorders. And he said, yet we are not giving people what they need, because he said the actuality of it is that we have to give them a controlled substance, and people are afraid of that, and we're afraid of that responsibility. And I thought it was fascinating. And he said some other stuff that I want to share with all of you, because one of the big things that came forward to me from what he was saying was that, and some of you understand the idea of shame, right? Like, guilt is we feel with something we did is bad, and shame feels like we are bad. And he said, how many of us go through life thinking there's something wrong with us, that we really are not getting it? And man, I can tell you, he said that, and he was sharing about that, and I went, wow, like, he talked about something else that was very interesting. And, my friends have been saying to me, what's with you and this nail thing? Why are you doing that? And I'm going to share about it in relation to how it's helping me with my ADHD, which is really interesting. But what I've noticed is that, and this is what he said, if you tell somebody who has ADHD that, you need certain things done, well, the issue is that they're on their own internal time clock, so they have no idea of consequences in the outside world. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you think about it, not understanding consequences. So, for example, you just really don't have a sense of when things are due. There's no tangible, if somebody says, okay, that report's due on next Thursday, it's kind of like, oh, okay. But sometimes it just doesn't get done. Hey, Nicole. And I think that what he was talking about, which really hit me, was that, oh, I think I get it. Like, that's why. So, and of course, what would I pick as my career? Duh, writing, where I'm an internal the whole time. And he said the problem with ADHDs is they go internally. And he said you have no sense of when things are due, and life just goes on. And you can literally sit for days, weeks, and hours and go, oh, time, it's fall. Where was summer? And he was talking about how we lapse in time. And I thought that was fascinating. So this is what he said, that in order to work with someone who has ADHD, and in order for us to be productive, you have to understand, guys, it's like we have this brain, right? And in the middle is this big, I want to say like the Grand Canyon. So our information has to go from one side to the other, and you're literally, crossing the Grand Canyon on a rope, okay? So what he said, the way to bridge that gap is you need something that's external. You need something tangible with milestones that you can actually see happening. Because if you don't have those milestones, if you don't see it happening, you won't feel any urgency. You won't understand. Check this out. We don't understand how we're affecting other people by being late. We don't understand how it affects other people that we don't do what we're supposed to do. And it's not that we're like stupid. I mean, I have some sense that, if I don't get that done on time, it might be a problem. But I don't have a sense that careers could be waiting on a deadline. There are so many things that people are waiting on, right? So when we look at it that way, all of a sudden you go, oh, like I didn't think of that. And so what happens is the world kind of goes, are you going to be late again? Are you going to not show up? Are you not going to? And what happens is the way people approach us is antithetical to how we can understand what needs to be done. So, you got to get this done or things aren't going to happen doesn't work because it's a shaming mechanism. And what I've noticed is the best way for me, and from this last two weeks, and in working with people, in working with my assistant, I was able to say to her, because she gave me work, and then I sat there and I stared at it. I didn't know what to do with it, like literally had no clue. And I came back to her and I said, I want you to know that I cannot give you what you need because you are not giving it to me or telling me what you need in a way that I can see it happening, like I can do it. And that was a big thing for me. When we begin to say to people, when we could say to people, hey, I'm not getting this done not because I'm lazy or stupid or I'm trying to be bad. I'm not getting it done because it kind of makes me freeze. And I said to her, it almost makes me freeze. Like what happens, and this is what this doctor was saying, is when we're given something to do, we go, oh, and we get so overwhelmed in the moment, we can't do anything. And so we do nothing. And what was fascinating about this is that, and Brittany said it best. Yes, we do know it affects people, but the issue is not that we don't know that it affects people. It's that we can't change how it affects them. Like there's literally a synapse between our, gosh, I want to change this, I wish I could help, to do the task in front of you. Like, it's like a cavern. So here's what I noticed. This is what I noticed, okay? What I noticed is that, because people were saying to me, gee, what are you getting into this nail thing for, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, I don't know. I'm really loving it. I'm doing well with it. I enjoy. It's all external. I'm not having to produce a product. I don't have to produce a product. All I have to do is go, hey, this is really cool, I love it. And people will go, oh, I like it too, I'll buy it. Or, oh, it's not for me, and don't buy it, right? So it's not like I have to do it by a deadline. It's not like something, hey there, Dawn. It's not like it's something that that has to be internalized, right? Because let's face it, if you have any kind, and by the way, he was saying it shouldn't be called attention deficit. It should just be called an inattention deficit. We can't pay attention to the right things. Like we literally, like, we're the ones who, like, when I joke and I go, oh, look, a pony, it's like kind of like, oh, a puppy. It literally happens that fast. Like, I can spend hours on something and go, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, even though I was very productive, right? But I'm not being productive in the way that's going to support me. That said, what's helping me with the nail thing I'm doing is that not only do I love them because they're fantastic, but I'm also learning, like, oh, I can get, yeah, exactly. You need to have you know what, Humanimal, I'll tell you something. The nicest thing about an assessment about this thing is that, it really does you kind of go, oh, wow. And you kind of look at it and go, oh, by the way, and if you didn't get a chance, I uploaded it last week to see my conversation with Dana Rayburn. It's on the channel. She is an ADHD coach, and she and I met maybe 10 years ago and just had a happenstance breakfast together at a conference. And I said, yeah, I probably have that. She goes, I think you do. And I was like, ooh. But it stayed in the back of my mind. So I wasn't afraid as much of the diagnosis when I got it. Isn't she great? Yeah, Humanimal, that was really great. That video is, I think, monumental in terms of when she talks about, because I asked her about how does it affect people in the workplace. I'm starting to see it is one of the biggest problems between ADHD bosses and employees, between people running companies who have ADHD. Now we know why companies go under when it's such a great idea. There's so many things that I'm seeing now. I'm going, oh my gosh. So I want to talk about this a little bit more. So, writing in and of itself must have a cognizant structure for me in order to achieve it. So one of the things I noticed for me is that I have to actually have my own, how do you say it? My own consequences. Okay. Gavin mug. Look, I got a little Gavin mug. So I have to have my own consequences. And the way to do that is when I can look at milestones. So I make a chart of milestones of what needs to happen. And then I know I have a visual of what that milestone looks like outside of me, right? So as having this issue, what happens is, because I don't understand, like, my cognizant brain, my brain doesn't have, it's not cognitive. It doesn't understand cognitive, like this happens, this happens, this happens. I do everything backwards. So, one of the things and one of the reasons I'm enjoying this thing with Color Street is because, well, I'm loving that I have other people who've done this before me. And so they're like above me. My friend Karen is kind of my sponsor. And then there's like an upline, but you have your own thing. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, I don't feel the pressure, is what I'm saying, to make other people do it, which is great. However, what's interesting about this is that I came into it and I went, oh, I love the nails. So I got the nails. And then I went, oh, I just want to sell this. So I sold it. And then I was like going, oh, but I was missing pieces of what I needed to know about the product, right? Because I just like selling it. Well, that's the cognizant brain. We jump from I love it to I'm going to sell it without the study in the middle. So one of the things that one of the gals mentioned to my friend Karen was, well, Tori's really good, but she hasn't really done that work to figure out how things really, how stuff works. And she's asking questions that's in there. And I was like, oh, I always hate when people do that, because Karen said that to me. And I go, I hate when people do that. That's ADHD. Like, I was starting to go, oh. So I messaged Karen and I said, well, can you tell me where these were? And Karen messaged me back and said, well, we told you it was here, here, and here. That's the thing. They can tell you things 27 times. Do you have a boss like that? Do you have somebody you work with like that, where you say, you go, okay, the report's on your desk. And they go, where's that report again? It's on your desk. Oh, okay. Hey, where'd you put the report? Your desk. And it's like you keep repeating the same thing over and over to that person, not because they're trying to ignore you, but because literally it is not in their urgent pile. It's not something that they think they need because they can do X. It's very strange, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's a missing component. It's really just the way our brain is wired. Think of it this way. Some people, and this happened in my New York apartment, right? So for some people, hot is on the right and cold is on the left. Well, my apartment in New York was wired with the hot on the left and the cold on the right. So it was opposite. And I had to tell people, by the way, that's opposite. And people said, why? I go, I don't know. My super did it that way. It was just done that way. But that's how our brains are. In other words, with an ADHD brain, we're very focused when we focus, but we also flip things around a lot. So what's been interesting for me is, because I'm now doing treatment and working with this, I'm starting to recognize and able to focus on, oh, I want to do all of those courses, right? So I have now learned everything about this company. I know how it works. I know how the compensations work. I know where I am and what I want to do. And boy, is it power to be able to really understand what I've missed. And, here's the thing, guys, and I think you get this. I can sit here and say to you, it's really been challenging for me to really recognize that I've lost whole seasons. I've lost weeks. I've lost so many deals in my life. I've gotten a lot done, but And people have told me, oh, you're bipolar, oh, you're manic, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. And, I always thought, well, maybe I am, but it never felt right to me. And what this doctor said, this PhD or excuse me, I think he's an MD. Yeah, he's an MD. What the psychiatrist was saying is that, we think that, as with this condition, he said those people that have this condition consistently think there's something wrong with them. They know there's something wrong with them, but you see, the issue is that when they were little and didn't get their homework done, their parents yelled at them rather than recognized, oh, because nobody knew in those days, rather than recognize, oh, my child's brain isn't working as an inner reward. They don't look at it that way. So what I have to do is I have to put the candy right here and say, okay, when you get these pages done, and you focus on that, we can go have candy. We can go do this. So when people talk about a reward system, for me, it never made sense because I just go get the candy. But when we can structure our lives where there is a sense of having done it and it's outside of us. See, this is where it has to be outside of us. So to give you an example, I have a clipboard and I write down how much I'm going to do that day. And then I also have a list of all for my writing, what I'm going to get done that day. And then I go over to the clipboard when I get those 3 pages done, I cross that off. And if I want, I go on to the next 3. But every time, and that's the thing he was saying on this video, he said, listen, because the way our brain works, we have to literally take 10 minutes on, 3 minutes off. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And he also said something interesting. He said, you know how people tell you sugar's not good for you? And I was like thinking, yeah, I'm talking to the, YouTube. And he goes, for ADHDs, they need glucose. And here's why. Because what's missing from their brain when they spend that 10 minutes, it's so intense that it uses up all their glucose. And that's why they burn out. I was like, so what do you do? And then he comes back and he goes, so here's what you do. I'm like, gosh, this is really kind of creepy. So he came back on and he said, you need to have something like Gatorade or one of those sports drinks, right? He said, but you sip it. Because this is what we do. We go, we drink the whole thing, right? He said, take a teeny sip, every few minutes. And, Dawn, I'm telling you, this is not right. Exactly. This is not, by the way, this is not my doctor. I found this guy on YouTube. He is brilliant. And he's a specialist in ADHD. And he was giving a lecture to psychiatrists about how they underdiagnose ADHD. And it was one of the most interesting lectures I've seen. And I said this earlier, but I'll say this again for those of you who might have missed it. He said 90% of all people who have ADHD never get the right diagnosis. And I'm getting truth bumps as I say that to you guys. I mean, really, can you imagine? That's why I'm kind of on a mission here of for those, if you sit at home and time just goes away from you and you don't know why, you might have it. And you know what? If you were yelled at because you didn't get things done when they needed it done, it might be that. And so one of the things that has happened is I've been able to look back and go, oh my gosh, my parents missed it. They missed what was happening to me. They didn't know. And my father probably had it, if I'm being fair. And my mother probably had it. I mean, I can look back now, and he was also saying that most of us will medicate. We'll medicate with, and I wasn't really into marijuana, so with pot, drugs, alcohol, shopping is a big one. Okay, so he was talking about that. I thought that was very interesting. Oh, and that's another thing that I'm noticing is cigarettes. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, let me just look. Shopping. I know it's genius, right? You literally have to beg for Adderall on my state. You're screwed if you lose your doctor. That sucks. Because here's the thing, it's a controlled substance, right? So they only want to give you a certain amount. But for those of us who do need it, and I'm not kidding when I tell you, like, I get it now. Like, I have no, I have, one of the things that happens when you recognize you have something as serious as this that has, I mean, think about it this way, guys. Can you imagine that I have been this, for those of us that have it, and I don't know if Brittany's still, but you know, tell me if I'm wrong here. It is like slogging through jello. It is like literally like, and by the way, he also said, this doctor also said that ADHD can lead to clinical depression. And he said, I'm not saying that one cannot be separate from the other, but a lot of times, if it goes checked for a long time, it can lead to that. And I'm like, you know, oh my gosh, what happened? Let me just, woo, okay. Oh, Nana, you got my tarot deck? Woo! Oh gosh, and that, by the way, is one of the cards. That is the, and you know what I did? I think I showed you guys. This is I got it put on wood. Isn't that cool? So you know I've got the cards. My ex couldn't stand me not finishing things. Oh, Nicole, you have it too? The book block one. It's like having 1,000,000 pounds on your limbs. You can't start the smallest projects. Yes. Mm-hmm. Doing a reading right now. Oh, cool. All right. So a couple things I want to say about this. Okay. So a couple things I learned is that my stomach can't tolerate Adderall. Doctors in my state dish it out like candy. Well, Susan, you've got to let you've got to let the other person know. Come on to my state. Let me see. Shopping is my big thing. Sucks because I have any money. Oh, because you don't have any money. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I've got to tell you, Brittany, shopping was my thing too. And you know what's happening for me? Woo! You know what the best part is? Because I'm doing the nails, and you know what I mean, these, you know, the nail sets, I'm loving it because not only am I able to get out my shopping thing, because I don't know, some of you may be on my Facebook page because I did the trends. I did the trends for fall, and I talked about how, like, you could take the plaids, right? I love this one. You could take the plaid nails and put them with black and white stripes. And so there's a lot of things, and even some of the lavender is just going to be really strong this fall. We're going to see a lot of like this. So the point is, I'm getting, and what Brittany was saying, I love home goods. I am getting so much out of being able to, you know, help people find the right things for themselves. And I'm doing the shopping in that sense because I'm going, oh, these go with this and this goes with this. And I'm really talking about, you know, all of the different styles. I know, Dawn, I think you've been looking at some of them. Yeah, let me see. That's exactly true. All that you're saying. Yes, I was yelled at when I was young, and I still lose track of time. My family does not care to try and understand. I know they're so cute, Susan. I got to tell you, I'm going to do a live in a little while on my private Facebook page. And by the way, the private page, any of you are welcome to join it. It is, I think I only have like 30 or 40 people on it. And it's kind of the group where I talk about the nails because I wanted to find a spot that wouldn't be like, that wouldn't be a place that really takes away from, and I'm still going to talk about this business because I love it. I'll show you these. These are so cute. Check this out. Do you see the face? Look at the face right there. Hold on. Can you see that? These are, I think it's called Raise My Spirits, and look at the swirls. This is a Halloween one. By the way, this is 9 days old. 9 days old. Let's see. It's fun, but I forgot to go on there. You're fine. I have to get those ones. Yes, these are so fun. These are the Halloween ones, and I'm going to be talking about Halloween. And I'm doing a mommy and me party. Can you stand it? My friend who does some work for me, she's a nanny, and I said, you know, it'd be fun to do like a mommy and me because we've got like we've got petite nails for like those of you who have smaller nails and for kids. And so we're going to do a Halloween mommy and me party, and the moms are going to get to put the Halloween nails on the little girls. I think it's going to be so sweet. But what I really love is that feeling of community. The women that are in this and by the way, this is about my ADHD. I feel so cut off. I have, because it isolates us in a way. It keeps us separate from other people. And and by the way, I love these nails. There's something really magical about them. They're kind of a greenish blue. It's the only color that I've seen that's this kind of color. And I wore this into the studio when I was recording this week. And I promise you, this little, this woman here, look at that. Isn't she cute? And I think I have her on my thumb as well. How cute. So I really go, anybody gonna watch Chris Watts' movie? I thought the Chris Watts movie was already on. Wasn't it already on? Oh, I know. Gavin is Velvet. So, okay, let me look at this. I thought the Chris Watts movie was on. Okay. Oh, all right. So these are a couple ADHD things I learned. Creating external goals makes it easier. And one of the things that now that I'm involved in Color Street, I am like loving this company. And for a couple reasons. One, everyone on my side, like everyone who sells, everyone who is training people, we are all women. And everybody helps everybody. It's like the nicest group. I can't even believe it. Like, I was recording last week and I messaged 2 women and I said, listen, I can't get to everybody. Can you send out messages to the people who've asked me for samples and that I'm gonna, and they're like, sure. So they like stepped in and helped me. It's my thing, right? And it's just been amazing. And I have like 3 people that have wanted to work with me who want to sell. And that's been so fun because I've gotten to know them just a little bit. And I'm forming relationships with these women that are just really fun. So it's just been really neat to support people in. And that's the thing, is that I'm not good at, and when I tell you guys this, I'm not good at like direct sales. Like, you know how they go, because people are like, is it an MLM? And I'm like, well, I guess it is, but I don't like that part of it. I really don't. I mean, I just kind of like the product. And here's the thing. It's organic. It's made in the United States. It is gluten-free. It's non-toxic. It is really the safest you're going to find, and they are fantastic. So for me, when I say this to all of you, part of the reason I say this is because, yeah, it is an MLM, but you don't have to sell. You can just, if you like them, you buy them. I wanted to sell because I needed something externally to me that forces me to be around other people a little bit. And, you know, I've really enjoyed a lot of the reaching out part, even though it's hard for me. It's really hard for me because when you get in that I'm going to be by myself thing, it's so comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I never heard of MLM before you mentioned it. I thought, yeah, the ID channel just did the 2020 thing, the Watts murders. Oh, yeah. They're casting for a Watts movie, but they're not doing it yet. Okay, I just wanted to see that. Oh, Tara, put the, if you can, put the channel on that it's going to be on tonight, because I'll definitely go watch it. I'm into that. That'd be great. Yeah, I think that's what she means. Oh, Red Like Wine, good to see you. What channel is that Watts thing on? Okay, we're going to find out. So a couple other things. Oh, the other thing I learned, you guys are going to laugh. You ready? Our internal clock is on a permanent snooze. So we're like always like, you know, we can just, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I say that so much with people, with friends of mine. I go, oh, fiddly dee, I'll think about that tomorrow, you know? And it's like, oh my gosh, snooze. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh. So that was something that really hit me. Okay, so this is the thing I want to say. Make it visible so that you can see it. So make your goal or what you're looking to achieve a reality. And I'm going to tell you, it's funny because I was talking to my friend Karen the other day. Who's streaming? Oh, okay. Got it. Um, okay. And one of the things I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about the Doulos murder coming up. I've been having dreams about it, so I do want to talk about it. Yeah, really, everything's off till tomorrow. So I am going to just, hey, bro, you're all over Banger TV, over 20,000 people watching you, but we have not released your name. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. Banger Music TV. What's that? Is that like, let's just watch that because it might be, I don't know if Cruz is on here. I don't know if any of my, okay. All right. Well, okay. Let us give you a little time out there. Okay, bro? All right. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I just didn't know if Banger Music was for real or what the deal was with that. It's on Reels channel. Okay, Reels channel. Thanks, Scott. Oh, good to see you, Scott. So a couple other things I want to say. Make things visible so you can see it. Make commitments that are tangible so that you can hold it in your hand or you can like create it. Use meditation as a tool for visualization. And that's what I'm going to do because now I have a couple people that I'm working with. Like I have 3 people that are have signed up to work with me, and meaning selling the Color Street. What I'm going to do is with those 4 women is every Sunday we're going to have like an intention setting focused meditation on what we want to create, not just for this, but for our lives, and making it tangible so that we can see when it's happening. Because that's a big thing. I just want to say, oh, okay. That was something I already said, but I want to reiterate that we really, guys, for those of us with ADHD, we really have no concept that we're impacting other people. So I just want to say that, and that's a big one. That's a big one. So that said, I've been super busy putting together my new website. Chakra Wisdom Tarot is up. If you got that deck, I think some of you, who got that deck? Anybody get Chakra Wisdom Tarot? Is there anybody on here right now who got it? I don't know if anybody did. Just let me know. Oh, yeah. Hi, my husband has ADHD. It's quite sad to watch him suffer through life. It causes issues in all aspects. Yes. Okay, good. Dawn, Nicole, you got the new deck. I'm going to come back to you, Julie. Okay. Yeah, Lori, right on. I have to set 2 timers in my phone calendar to remind me of every single appointment. Bill due. Bills due. That's a good tip. Because my bills are like, it's a joke. They knocked on my door and said, we're going to turn your electricity off. I go, really? Why? They go, you haven't paid it. I go, yes, I did. Actually, yeah, it was electricity. And I was like, yes, I did. Well, I'd been paying the wrong bill. I'd been paying apparently somebody else's bill. So I went on. I mean, seriously, this is the kind of stuff we do, right? I mean, I'm not even kidding. So I went on. Called and they go, I get a guy on the phone and he goes, oh yeah, you've got to pay something because we're going to turn you off. I go, no, wait a minute. I just paid like $400. I said, I paid a lot of, and he goes, well, let me look. He said, oh, no, you paid on, and I forget the guy's name, Mr. Smith's account. I go, Mr. Smith, who's Mr. Smith? The guy goes, well, I don't know. You're paying his bill. And I said, wait a second. You guys ready for the rest of the story? I go, well, okay. All right. You need to take it from that bill and put it on this other one. And he goes, well, I mean, you're the one paying. I could do that. I said, yeah, I want you to do that. And he goes, but what about Mr. Smith? I go, what about him? He goes, well, he's going to get his electricity turned off. And I said, oh, honey, I don't care if he's sitting in the dark in his bathtub. I don't really care. I said, I want my electricity back on. He said, well, do you want to call Mr. Smith or should I? I go, I don't know the guy. I accidentally paid his bill. And the guy on the line, I'm not kidding. He goes, well, all right, but he's not going to be happy. And I'm like, yeah, I just finally had to say, yeah, I guess he's just not going to be happy. So, yeah. So eventually it's like, so I just went, okay, hold on. And I said, because the guy was at the door, he's telling me the electricity if I don't pay right away, right? I said, hold on. I put him on the phone with this guy, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, oh, I know, yeah, that's a neighbor up the street, and he talks for a minute, and he goes, okay, well, all right. He hands me back the phone, and he goes, I'm going to have to go tell Mr. Smith that his electricity is going to be turned off. And I'm like, I don't know the man. And they're like going, okay. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that happens to people with ADHD. We pay the wrong bills. And it's so funny. Dana was saying this. It's like, we tend to be a little gullible. So I got to really watch it with stuff like that. It's like, I know, I was like going, let's see. Oh, so you stick with, okay, Angel Tarot, they're too big. So if anybody has my, okay, yeah, let me put the Facebook page on here. What is it called? It's called, hold on one second, let me think. It is called, you're going to look for such, it's hidden. But if you type this in, you'll find it. It's Such Cute Nails VIP. Okay, because the name of the thing I'm doing is Such Cute Nails. I know, not nice guy, Mr. Smith, to not do the right thing. He must have noticed he got his bill paid by another person. Janet, I think you're right, but it hadn't occurred to me that that's what was going on. Like, this is how, with this ADHD thing, it was like, I was so stunned that the guy was like going, that's really not a nice thing to do to Mr. Smith. And I'm like, I didn't do anything, like I accidentally paid the guy's bill. So it's kind of a, yeah. So go to Facebook. It's on Facebook. You'll look for Such Cute Nails VIP, and I will approve you into the group. Just say I want to join. And I think my website is, wait a second. I think it's cutenailshop.com. Cutenailshop.com. That's it. All the time, procrastination for various reasons, confusion, super achievement. People don't understand why you can't do simple things. Oh God, that's funny. One time I paid my bill 20 days ahead of the due date, and I forgot what time I paid my bill, and they remind me. Oh, that's funny. See, this is the thing. You know what I used to do when I was in my 20s and I had money? I would literally call the power company and go, I'm paying for the year. And in those days, they'd let you pay for the year because they had it evened out, pretty much. And I paid all my bills for the year because I had the money, and it was like $30 a month or something. But in January, I'd saved up. I just paid all the bills because I was really afraid of not getting them in on time. And then, I don't know, I just changed. So, but anyway, a couple things I want to tell you real quick. I am going to be doing a live on there's doulos. And I have to, this is like totally my opinion, you guys, because I don't want anything. I looked at that guy and I saw stuff. Okay. So I was like, the guy is like, he's crazy. Now, one of the things I want to say about some of the true crime is that as I'm looking at it now, I'm having a very different perspective on what guy. There's Doulos. He murdered his wife, his ex-wife. I think he just didn't want to pay her. Let's see. Yeah, he's I think it's Theros Doulos, Dulos, and they showed him on TV. Check this out. They showed him, and they were interviewing him, and they said, they said, well, are you worried about the cops or whatever? And he said, oh, well, no, why would I worry? He said, I gave them my phone, and they said, and he said, forgive me, but he basically said, they're not going to find anything I don't want them to find. And I thought, that's an odd way of putting it. Like, they're not going to find anything I don't want them to find. So you already took care of it? So it was a very, because like literally, if I was innocent and I handed my phone to the police and they said to me, well, you gave over your phone. It's like, yeah, I gave him my phone because I don't have anything to hide. I don't, there's nothing on there because I didn't do anything. But he was like, they're not going to find anything I don't want them to find. Wow. So that was creepy. That's the guy I'm talking about. All right. So I'm going to talk about him coming up. Yep. It is about the money. I want to go to Nola Chick for a second. I'm 41. Just found out I had ADHD, and it was really depressed at first because I was thinking about how I always felt there's something wrong with me. Now I'm on Adderall. Are you on any? Yes, I am. Nola Chick, I'm glad you said that. In fact, I was telling a friend of mine, there's actually an ADHD convention. I'm not kidding, guys. I am not kidding. And if I lived near it, I might go, but I'm not going to go this year. I just don't have the buckolas. Yes, I have heard of it. Thanks, Dawn. Hold on one second. So anyway, they have an ADHD convention. I was just like looking for stuff, right? And there's a meeting in Asheville once a month, and I'm going to it tomorrow. But anyway, it's an ADHD convention, and they had like, oh, and you can sign up for the dinner on XYZ night, that we're all meeting. And it was really funny. Okay, for those of you that have this, or for those of you that have a loved one that has ADHD, check this out. The menu was like chicken and rice with gluten-free blah blah rice, right? And then the vegetables can be on the side. And then it was like chicken, no rice, vegetables only. And they had like, I'm not kidding when I tell you 12 dinner choices. It's like, oh my gosh, because we overdo, right? We overdo. And it was really funny. Because when I looked at it, I went, oh, that's like something I would do, like when people, I have a form on my Facebook page where if people want to get samples of Color Street, I send it to them, right? But I don't just send one. I send like 4 or 5. I said, oh, you might like this one, this one, this one, and it's like, I was telling Karen, I was like, yeah, I'm almost out of them. And they're, they're not cheap. And I said, yeah, I'm almost out of them. She said, well, Tori, you're sending half the box. I'm like, I know, but I want people to try it. And by the way, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help us a lot. Hey, Sensible Crime, good to see you. Oh my God, right? ADHD convention. You could write jokes about it. You're right. Oh my gosh. I need to go to it. Okay, it is actually, you can Google it. It's actually in and I think it would be fantastic. I'm telling you, everybody, I've met so many people that have ADHD, and I just hired a guy to do some artwork for me who's ADHD, and so it's he just messaged me. He's so funny. It's like, but I really liked him, and you know what's funny? If you think about it, we get along really well because our brains work the same way and we kind of understand. Oh, the convention. Thank you, Nola Chick. The convention is I think it's in Pennsylvania. It's somewhere, forgive me, it might be Philadelphia area. Yeah. So let's see. Aw, I love you, Cruz Boston. You are like she's the bomb diggity. I got to tell you, like always here. Just really appreciate you a lot. Let's see. Yeah, sure, Nola Chick. So, okay. So I'm going to be talking about this crime this week. I will do it. I'm going to be putting on new nails this week. So I am going to do like a nail thing. I'm actually thinking I might have it on my Facebook page, but I do want to mention 2 things, 2 big trends. You guys want to hear some fashion trends that are going on that are interesting? Shogun, you are killing me. You are killing me. You're killing me. Like it's like the minute you go, what? Oh, you mean I could meet people and I could like share this with them? Like I'm like so excited. And I know some of you will understand when I say this. I really understand now. And by the way, we're talking about $11 sales. Do you know what I mean? We're not talking, they're between 11 and 14 each. And when you go on the website, you buy 3 and get 1 free. So it's kind of like, it's not like I'm selling people things that are so expensive. So I think of Shanann selling Thrive. That's like $600 for a thing of it. And to start this business, I mean, when I say business, when I started, the kit comes with like a bunch of strips, but it's like, it's what was it? I guess it's $129 or something, and then with shipping and blah blah blah, it's 150. But I've already made that back way. I mean, that's like, because what happens is people love this product. It's a great product and it's easy, and I'm not forcing it on people. If they don't like it, they don't buy it. Okay. Thank you, Cruise Boston. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's kind of like, okay, Kim, I'll let you in onto that group then. As soon as I'm done here. Yeah, Shogun Love just said, convention, great place for nail contacts. That means I'm going to get in my car. You know that, right? It's like, oh yeah, I can meet people. But I also really love ADHD people. And I think, oh yeah, you can buy 3, get 1 free. Just go to, hold on. This is the website to go to, cutenailshop.com. You just go to cutenailshop.com. It'll take you, I know. I wish we could all meet up. That'd be so fun. Okay. I'm going to tell you a couple trends, and I'm going to go because I got to do this. I got to go do something on my other page, but I want to show you. Ooh, look at that. This is the lavender and purple. This lavender look is happening really strong because you're going to see pink staying very strong into fall. You're going to see pink. Remember the pink plaids of a couple of years ago? Pull out some pink plaid scarves, throw that with gray, pink nails. You are rocking. And check this out. One of the things that's also going with plaid, with pink, is the boho look. Look at these. They're very boho. They kind of have that, very mandala type of look. And then one other thing, and then I've got to, let's see. Well, you know me, all day long, I can do black nails. Like, I love that. But paisleys, look at these paisleys. Are they so freaking cute? Yeah, Kim, I have the camo. Yep. They're great. Purple, the color of royalty. Oh my gosh, can I tell you, the purples this season are so beautiful. They have it's on my Facebook page. They have a pink and purple paisley that I'm going to have to own, Yeah, now the camo, which I have around here somewhere, but the camo actually has one of them. It's a set with an American flag, and it also has a heart in gray on a gray background, and it's really pretty. So you can do the camo, and you can mix it if you want, or you can just do all of the camo. It's really cute. And the other thing to look for, believe it or not, big, huge trend. I can't believe it, because I looked at it and I went, oh, I don't like this at all. But then I see it on, and I'll show you this. This one, I was like, and then I saw it on, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. This is a big trend. Look at the roses there with the animal print. Rose and animal print, and there's a gold in there too. Let's see. My kit came. You're so excited. Oh, sweet. See, I don't know who Shogun is. I'm like going, because I don't know your name. I don't, forgive me. Yeah, they're super, super great. Wowzers. I know the animal print rose is killer. It's so, so pretty. I know you want about 10 hands and feet. I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, Deb, is that you? I don't know. I think that's Deb, because she's working with me. I didn't know your okay. I didn't know. Let's see. Okay. Well, there you go. Look at that. All right. Ooh. Cruise Boston, you are so fast. All right. So I'm going to take off so you guys can get ready to watch the Chris Watts thing. If you're going to, I'm going to jump over to my Facebook. Oh yeah, the handle, meaning it's the if somebody uses a handle, it's kind of the name they use for YouTube or for right. I know who you are. Okay, Deb, good to see you. Thank you, Cruise Boston. I think we're gonna have to block that person, so we'll do that. All righty. Please like and share if you enjoy our talks. I'm going to talk more about upcoming. I am going to continue on with my saga about ADHD. I'm also going to talk about true crime because I really want to get back into that. And I'm also going to be talking about my cards and decks. I have a new book coming out and I'm going to be teaching. How many of you would be interested, by the way? I'm going to be doing an online 7-week course on the journey through the chakras. It's not related to cards. It's actually an internal personal development on walking through old family beliefs, clearing things. It's really a cool book, and the book is set up like that. So I'm going to guide people through it. So I was interested in that. Much love, everyone. I will see you guys soon. Dawn, I'll see you soon. All right, guys. Love, love, love. And Amanda, love, good to see you. I will see you guys very soon. Have a great evening. Go enjoy the movie. Bye for now.